Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales Held Dear. We are your lovely Berlin live stream tabletop role-playing improvisers, and we have had a day. We're so happy if you stuck around and waited for us for 30 minutes late because we had a little technical problem, malfunction. No, not a malfunction.
Our lens is in Rwanda.
Our lens, right? The one that we use, and we know who has it.
That goody two-shoes, Trevor Silverstein.
So, Trevor, wherever you are, we hope you're having a great time with our lens.
Yeah, have a great time.
That we borrow so graciously from the Comedy Cafe Berlin, who are so nice, and so we really appreciate it. And very, very special thanks to Christopher Schneider, who brought us an emergency lens. Thank you so much.
Hero.
Yeah, absolute hero. Saved the day. So this stream is dedicated to you, Chris.
Now we have to make it good. None of your usual rubbish.
Okay.
The pressure.
So, by way of introduction, I'm Jacob Wolf Lefton, your Dungeon Master and host for the day, and we're gonna go around this way.
Ooh, I'm Marijne Nieuwerf and I play Cornelius.
I'm Carl, and I play Dale Briscoe, and I forgot my character sheet, so this is what's happening here.
And so did
It's
I.
gonna be a wild ride.
It's like something is happening today. I'm Tetiana Mulenko, and I hope my dad watches the current sprint and not the previous stream. I play Ruta.
You could text him. You could be like, reload the page or something.
I'll check.
Yeah.
Get on a tech support
Hi,
call
I'm
with your
Ratan
dad.
Sebastian and I play Victor Snaps / now Misky Phaser.
Amazing. We have just a couple of very short announcements for you at the beginning. Our next stream will be December 17th, and because of various people's holiday travel, it will be some sort of special one-shot. And then in January, again, we'll have a short series because people will be traveling for like warm places for winter vacation. But we'll let you know all the details for that when we get to it. And then the second really cool announcement is our live show, December 15th at 800A in Berlin, in Wedding. The tickets are €10 at the door, plus the cost of your plane ticket to get here to Berlin to see us. It's a long-form improv comedy with a role-playing Dungeons and Dragons sort of mechanic in it. So there's a giant rubber D20 that we get to throw and the audience gets to throw. So you should come.
I should say, tickets will be available on the 800A Berlin website soon, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. You can buy tickets ahead of time. We do expect it to sell out, but follow our socials, Tales Held Dear, and we will post details of that.
Yes.
If you need more motivation to go there, they make delicious cocktails or mocktails.
That's
Cool.
true, yeah.
Nice.
And it's a cool place, 800A. It's a total vibe. I love it there. I always feel like I'm
Red
on holiday.
curtain,
Red curtains. It's cozy. It's got a je ne sais quoi. It's got an atmosphere that you cannot quite pin down, but it's lovely.
Bar and cabaret.
That's cool, because I've been doing improv in Berlin for 2 years now, and I've never been there,
Oh wow.
because it is on the other side of the world.
Get your shit
Up
together.
and coming neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience with that. Without further ado, we would like to jump into the world of Dios. This is our world based on the Numenera setting, which runs on the Cypher system from Monty Cook Games, and it's very easy. Follow along. Here we go. We take you to the peak of... Wait, I have my notes. Which page is it? Oh my God. There we go. The peak. This is... Maybe our characters don't know how well brushed up and versed they are in the geography of the Tsudorum Mountains, but this is Dunyak Peak. It's one of the tallest peaks on the continent. And it happens to be where our heroes have landed in various flying machines. Victor Snaps, aka Misky Phaser, brought here, kidnapped by his childhood friend Torath Haggis, and a goon squad, kidnapped you and brought you here, or out of the storm, out of the chaos of Sildefen and what was going on there, with some plans of uncovering archaeological remains of the old Gorelex Bracarchy that used to rule this area 1,000 years ago, and seems to be connected somehow to the philosophies of my land, where you're from. The rest of the crew jumped in Dale's rickety old flying bus and busted out of the city after, keeping like a tail through the storm and landing on the top of this mountain, on the runway on the slope of the mountain, which I got wrong last time. They're not gravel. Gravel is what trucks have for runoffs into like downhills when they lose control. There's gravel paths and they sink into the gravel, but when you're landing on the mountain, it's a runway that has like a 12-degree pitch so that you can slow down effectively on a short space, and also I guess take off on a short space when you point the other way. So this runway is sloped up.
Educational content.
Yeah, really cool things that you learn just like looking around the internet. Everyone landed. There was a tense sort of standoff as people tried to understand who they were. Our trailing group disguising themselves or trying to disguise themselves as hippies coming here to this old temple on the top of the mountain for a festival, and over their shoulder, Torath pointing and Dale shouting as enormous bus-sized crabs climb up over the cliff edge and start heading toward everybody. The entire group, the goons and Torath and Victor and Ruta and Dale and Cornelius ran to the entrance of the temple, got inside just in time to watch these crabs get to the vehicles. Torath stands there at the door as it's closed, and there's kind of like windows, like little windows that you can see out of in this entrance room, and he's like, oh shit, the pilots. You see the crabs sort of like looking around. One of them kind of like knocks into Dale's bus, like takes the door and peels it back a little bit. It bends out. Crab kind of like looking in, is there anything to eat around there? The other one goes over to this sort of airplane vehicle, and
there definitely is food in there.
Yeah, their claws, trying to get its claw in. It might be that the like living food is a little bit more interesting to it.
There's dried squid snacks.
Oh.
Yeah. Dried flying squid snacks.
Yeah. Okay. Your bus has a crab claw in it right now. Roll for me just a luck check to see if this crab claw.
8.
Yeah, you watch it kind of like move its claw in there, but then it's that phenomenon of like you stick your whole hand in the pickle jar and you grab a pickle, and then it can't get out. So it's kind of like dragging your bus
I just got a service.
up the runway as it moves toward the plane. You can see panicked, the pilots are trying to climb out of the plane, and they have like a gun, and one of them has a spear that he grabbed from the wall of the plane, useless against the carapace of this crab, and they don't stand a chance.
Can I try and hit one of them with my rifle?
You can.
Distract
The crab so
You-
they have a chance?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my rifle does. I remember it being slightly more powerful than you suggested before.
I got it. It's gonna be 6 damage if you hit.
Okay.
But these things are big and armored, so you can. You will have to pull open the door again. It's a big, heavy door.
Okay.
Sliding door at the front of this.
You got the door?
I can get the
You
door.
got the door?
Yeah.
Torath is like, wait, what are you doing? No, just leave them. It's, go for it.
Okay. And what am I rolling? What am I-
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna say you're aiming for 15.
Okay, can I reduce that with speed, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you have effort? Do you?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
have, I don't have
Do you have edge? Did you raise your edge to 2?
yeah, sure.
Cool. You can use speed twice if you want to take like a real crack shot, but it will cost you 5.
No,
from
I'll
your
just
speed
do one.
pool.
I'll just do one.
Okay, so that
12?
2. Yeah.
17.
Ooh.
That is in fact +1 damage on that. It's a good roll in Numenera. 17 to 20 are all additional effects. You fire. The shot rings out, crack, over the mountaintop. It hits this crab in basically in the face where it's a bit weak, and it sort of stumbles back. It definitely it stings it, but this thing has heavy, thick carapace, and so it's sort of like looking around in its crab way of like what's going on, and like it lashes out and it hits the tail of this plane and just exactly. Its eyes kind of like looking around, and they don't have great vision, but it hits the tail of the plane as it sort of thrashes out, and you see the whole plane like bend from the force of it. So that thing isn't probably flying anymore.
Sorry.
Torth is like shit. But the pilots, it gives the pilots a chance to run, and they're able to run and get toward the temple door. But it does also attract the attention of the crabs, and as they start coming behind the pilots, you also see smaller ones cresting.
Okay.
And it seems like they're starting to swarm up the runway.
I have a explosive device. I don't know if you have the stats for that, because I sure don't.
Yeah, of course.
It's some kind of like, throwable thing. Can I throw it towards the sea of crabs?
You can. I will say that these crabs are like small car-sized crabs, and you already saw Tora throw a big explosive, and it sort of like got it to back off a bit, but
Don't waste it.
Okay, then I won't use it.
yeah, I'm giving you this info because you were in the military, and like you would know the effect of this.
But also, aren't you like being a hippie right now, or was it just you?
Yeah, but two of us are being hippies, but you know,
Yeah.
we can still be
Sure.
crab fighting hippies.
Not the pacifist kind of
These
thing.
crabs look like narcs.
Both of you got disguised, and I had one good roll and one.
Did I get disguised?
I was trying to disguise you both,
Oh.
and then I rolled something.
Okay.
I think Dale is less well disguised, but
You're just the same Dale, but like hippie glasses.
the pilots slam, like rush in, slam into the chamber, and Torath grabs the door. He says, "Help me close it!" And you pull. It's heavy, and make like a strength roll for me. It's with Torath. It's going to be a difficulty 6,
Okay,
just to see if it.
wait, that's not mine. 15.
Yeah, no problem. You together pull this closed. And this heavy door slams shut. Moments later, there's just sort of like a on the edge of it as you see the crabs sort of like starting to swarm and climb up over the little entrance area, which is this sort of domed feature. Most of the buildings and space of this temple are domed and curved. So they have kind of sharp, like squarish bodies, but then like building sides, and then they're curved on the top. It's a very, for Ruta, in some way, it's a very comforting sight because this is architecturally very similar to Lemuria, because Lemuria is from the central ashes of the Goralex Bracarchy. And so this is, like, the architecture is somehow very similar to what you know from the old buildings back home. And you're standing here in this entrance space for this temple as the light kind of darkens from the outside as the crabs cover the windows and really start to swarm the building. And
Are these like just normal glass windows? Or are they reinforced or?
you can check them out if you want to just make a little investigation check for me.
Not 20.
Nat 20. You check
What a
these
waste.
out. These windows are they're something more durable than glass.
Okay.
They're a transparent, some kind of like transparent, either reinforced glass or a transparent metal or something like this. They're definitely from ages long past. You don't know how to make them anymore. But they, on this area, they're all intact.
Wait, what does that mean?
None of the
Okay.
windows are missing
Okay.
glass.
On this area, it
This
seems
is-
to suggest that maybe there's another area where they're not intact.
Well, the space itself is old and musty, and it has this. It's kind of this like white plastery, marbly. There's a nice sort of luster to all of the material in here, but it is dim. The light that comes into it sort of catches the white and bounces around and really does bring an airiness to the space. All of the corners that you see are rounded. There's almost no sharp corners in the entire space. The window sills are rounded. The corners on the where there's an intersection are rounded. The ceiling is domed and rounded. The only like sharp corner is in the bottom of the floor. And even there, sometimes there's a rounded edge and the whole place just feels soft. But dusty, old, a couple of cracks running here and there through the walls, little piles of debris on the ground. And empty, no furniture.
What is Victor's situation? He's not.
Am I bound or anything? No, right. I was running. Yeah. Remind me how many people there again? Like, are there 5 goons?
There's 2 pilots.
Yeah.
There's
Pilots are civilians from the airport, or no? Oh,
no. They're wearing sort of Belfastian pilot gear. Not necessarily military, but the vehicle is a Belfastian transport.
oh shit! We got ourselves more enemies. Okay.
There's 3 sort of like thick folks who are traveling with Toroth, and there's Toroth himself, and then there's the 4 of you in this space. It makes the entrance space, once the pilots got in, it got a bit crowded feeling, but there's a hallway that kind of leads into the rest of the complex, and it disappears like into not quite darkness, but just like very thin light.
Well, I believe the universe decided for us to combine our efforts.
I just want to like give like everyone, the rest of the crew, like a very thankful look, just being like, oh my god, I'm so glad you guys are here. Because I don't want to like blow that cover yet, or like do anything that's like trying to tell them that I'm being kidnapped.
I
Like,
would love a like deception check from you. So this would be an intellect test, and it's going to be a difficulty. I've had Toroth. He's in a level 5 NPC level, so it's a difficulty 15 as a
shit.
base. He's perceptive and he knows you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Would he have seen any of us at the respiratorium or anything like that?
You fought next to him in that
Yeah.
big old
I
conflict.
wasn't wearing little pink John Lennon glasses back then, though. Was
No, you weren't. It's amazing that you have pink John Lennon glasses in your in your disguise
I do
kit.
have it, of course I
Yeah.
do.
And the wig,
Yeah. Dale catches a reflection of himself in one of these windows, and he's like, oh damn. Reminds him of his younger days when he had a thicker head of hair. It's a little bit sparse these days. He gets kind of wistful for a moment. He's like, oh man, I used to be beautiful. Anyway.
I think for us to introduce ourselves, we all should go in circle and say one thing that we are grateful for. I am grateful for meeting new friends.
I am grateful for the safety of the temple and it offers against sky crabs.
one of the thugs is like, I had like really good breakfast this morning. And Toroth is like,
What is a temple?
I'm grateful we didn't just get eaten by crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm grateful that my mind and body are so at ease that I was able, my aim was straight and true, that they're crab. And also that I didn't harm any of those beautiful living creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because out of our hearts, we are pacifists.
But of course,
Yeah.
Can you also make me a deception check?
Namaste.
That's a deception check from both of you.
Oh wow. No, it's a 7.
17.
17 and a
7.
7.
I feel like Dale used to be a hippie. It was very easy to.
Yeah.
He had a
The
Used
love
to
for
be-
animals makes sense.
Used to be a hippie, and like then your wife went into law, and your lives just
And I went into the military.
yeah. What was that outdoorsiness, right?
Yeah.
And just like, I'm really grateful for friends who I don't know, who I have no direct relationship to, just like supposed friends.
Yeah, Taurus is like it's very interesting that you happen to get here right on our tail, isn't it? I suppose we're here for a while. There's like more scuffling and scraping, and like the windows are like you're looking at the bellies of crabs, and then you're looking at one window, and then all of a sudden an eye stalk comes into the window, and like then a claw like bouncing against it, and Taurus says, maybe we should move on in and get to know each other a little bit, and take refuge in this place.
That sounds so wonderful.
Yes.
Great. Great. Yeah. I guess like be careful. Don't know what is here.
But keep your soul and your mind open.
Really,
You know I always do.
you guys really laying it on thick. For Dale, I would like to, because you don't have your character sheet, I would like to remind you of an ability that you have, which is familiarize. If you spend an hour studying a region up to a long distance, you're able to directly access and move about. Once you familiarize yourself with it, all your tasks related to perception, navigation, salvaging, defense, and moving in the area gain an asset. So like gain an advantage on them.
I don't know if I ever wrote that on my character sheet. That does not sound familiar to me, but I'll take it.
I'm pretty sure that's what you have. The other
Okay.
one is find the way.
I have that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's when you apply effort to a navigation task. Then you can find the way. You can add a free level of effort. So
Does
you
that mean I
can,
don't have familiarize?
you know, I'm not. Did you have skill with armor or right tool for the job?
Right till for the job.
All right, then no, you don't have familiarize. Sorry,
Well, I
I thought
thought
you
so.
did. I was
all right.
excited to have that, but
Oh well.
no problem. But you have right tool for the job, which means that you can jury rig and
Cool.
MacGyver things
Yeah.
if you have components. So you are gonna. What's the plan?
So
know.
they seem to know the temple. They are like, hey, let's go get familiar with the surroundings, so we'll kind of follow their lead.
Yeah.
As we are walking, do I see an opportunity to walk close to Victor and whisper?
Yeah, I mean, you're walking I think Torth is staying close to Victor, and the pilots are a little bit like seem like they didn't sign up for this, and the three, I call them the goons, but the Taurus 3 helpers are sort of moving, two of them ahead and one of them sticking with him, and they have a short conversation where basically Taurus says like, look, we don't know, and he kind of addresses all of you as well. He says, look, we don't know, we've never been here. This place might have defenses or other hazards in it. It's in some sort of old Numenera site, and I don't know what your deal is, if you're hopping around to these types of sites and how much danger you've put yourself in the past. You seem pretty handy with a gun, so that's good. Hopefully we won't need it here, but keep your wits about you. Don't do anything stupid.
I only use my weapon for defense of myself and my friends, and I consider you new friends, despite the fact that you haven't introduced yourselves yet.
That's great.
Yep.
I'm Toroth,
Taurus.
and this is Jerry, and it's one of his folks with, it's like a big guy, like with that sort of center part, slicked hair, pencil mustache. Una, this is a like female-looking person with thick brows, but mostly shaved head. And then Holna, who's wearing a leather jacket, got just like a shock of blonde hair over to the side.
He's one of the goons.
Yeah. And then the pilots, these are Roland and Felda.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Stamen. It's a reproductive part of the plant, the flower.
My name is.
I just want to like roll my eyes.
My name is nettle. It's a type plant.
Yes.
The nettle can sting, but if you grasp it firmly, it will not.
I'm not going to try to interpret that.
I am Moonchild.
Of course you are. Well,
She does not like if you abbreviate it to just moon. It's gotta
Yeah,
be moon
or child.
Yeah, or child.
Yeah, the other abbreviation is even weirder.
okay,
Although in a way
Moonchild.
we are all children of the moon.
Yeah. But she's like, you know,
Stamen, Nettle, and Moonchild.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is
I'm Victor.
Victor, right?
I don't know if this is the. Did we roll for deception previously? In the previous session?
Yeah, you did, and you catch a sense. It's hard to tell without like really, without a roll, but you catch a sense that he's a little bit suspicious of you.
Well, couldn't imagine why.
It's very hard to resist laying on the hippie stuff thick. I'm enjoying the energy flow in this building. It's quite favorable.
You what?
I'm enjoying the energy flow in this building so far.
I'm digging the flow, yeah.
I love, and the extra vibe that the crabs are giving, blocking out the
They're
sunlight.
here for a reason.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all connected.
Why are you here anyway? Speaking of reasons.
Why are we here, Dorot?
Research purposes. We're here for research.
They're delving in the depths of the world. Good for you.
Yeah.
Research is
Yeah.
important.
Although this isn't quite the depths, you know?
This is the heights,
That's true. That's
the
true.
peaks.
I feel that it depends on your perspective. Who are we to say which way is up and down?
I do feel like I'm at the bottom of one particular journey right now, and that is this moment is not. Look,
Your feelings are valid.
let me focus on this because this is potentially a dangerous place. And so he's going to move forward, and then he turns. Do any of you have experience with ruins like this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, in a previous
Okay.
life, I used to make a living exploring places like this.
Well, then keep an eye out, and if you see something that could kill us, let us know.
Can I do a scan of the room to see if any Numenera working?
Yeah, yeah. And so as you're walking deeper into this, you can do a scan.
That's
Just give me a basic roll.
17.
17. It's incredible. You take a moment, you sort of stop for a moment, and you let your senses move out. And this is what you're trained to do, is to come into places like this that are old Numenera sites and feel and look at what is the residual magic and essence in them. And this place itself, something about the way that it's built holds a particular energy. And it is, you say this thing about being able to feel the energy in here, but actually there is somehow a stillness that's not from the emptiness of the place in time, but the construction of it, the way that it's built, the materials used, they're not sort of stone that you would find in the mountains. They seem to be a different, like an imported type of stone, specifically to hold this type of energy in a way. And you feel that the walls of this place have almost like a resonance. They're not actively giving off energy themselves, but they do hold it. And as you're walking through, you can feel sort of, it's almost like they catch and dissipate the excess energy from people moving through. And so it has a calming effect on the whole environment. So it's a really interesting place to be in. And you do sense that coming up ahead, you're walking, they lead you kind of through and up, and you pass like a wide open room that has just like long tables made of the same material, and it looks like maybe there would have been benches, but they're sort of like dried and desiccated, crumbled pieces of wood. You walk past rooms that look like they could have been storage. They're just full of just decayed, leftover dust at this point, 1,000 years ago. And you walk past rooms that could have been sleeping quarters with beds and like bed platforms, like bunk beds, and this sort of monastic style living from many different people. You do catch a look out of a window back toward the runway, and it is like at this point there was that scent of food up here, and you see dozens of crabs still wandering around and kind of like peeking around and moving up and over the complex.
Can I do some sort of a nature roll about these crabs? Is there anything I know about them that we maybe haven't learned yet?
Yeah, make me a roll. It would be, I would say, difficult, level 12 or difficulty 12. But you're trained in animal stuff, so it's a 9.
7.
7. It's not. I mean, you know the basics about crabs, but these ones you've not had particular dealing with. They're usually best avoided, especially when you were in your mountaineering days, when you ran into them, because they swarm like this. It was sort of like, if you run into them, just get out. You know, whatever you were planning to do, abandon it for the time being.
Okay, like apex predators, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, they're huge and armored.
Yeah.
Whilst we are walking, is there any moment when Taurus is distracted with like navigating us, where I could whisper to Victor?
Make me a roll. It's a difficulty 15. It's going to be an intellect roll. So if you want to,
If I don't have like a good opportunity, I'm not gonna risk it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's just a 3.
3.
Yeah.
No, he seems to be. He's fully like alert, and he even seems to have like a weapon at the ready, because this place is unexpected potentially. And there's a moment, for example, when the guys at the front, they stop and they're looking at sort of lines in the ground. And this is where your scan, it picks up, oh, there is something here. This has its own energy to it. And there does seem to be some type of Numenera going on here.
Okay.
And so everybody stops and they're sort of like considering this. And it looks like just simple lines carved in the ground, like 2 little grooves, but they go up and around the entire space, basically, the entire hallway.
I would like to prepare poison on a needle, on a ring. I'm thinking that we are outnumbered, and I'm gonna follow around one of the thugs. Yeah, we are talking 2 pilots, 3 thugs,
Yeah,
and Taurus.
yeah,
6 people.
yeah.
I'm just prepare it. I'm gonna have it on the ready.
Okay, great.
This thing, I'm thinking it might be some sort of tripwire. We haven't passed it yet.
Yeah,
Can I like toss a pebble?
yeah. Pebble.
Hold up, my companions. I fear we may be in danger.
Yeah. Click, click, click. It passes through this, whatever it is.
Can I sense whether it connects to anything, like other than this line of energy around this entrance?
There is some sort of energy source within the walls, but because it's in the walls, it gets kind of buried in that energy absorbing phenomenon, and so you're able to faintly feel like, there's a little bit more sensation here. But you could make a deeper investigation check if you want to here.
Yeah.
So,
But I know you're the Numenera.
Yeah,
You do.
I mean, so like I
Yeah.
just warn everyone that there's something here and like not to go for. I guess
Yeah.
like they've already seen it. The others.
they've seen the
Yeah.
they've seen the lines, but
So that I'll
Yeah.
I try to investigate further about what this might be. Oh, that's a 1.
a 1 sort of.
Can I reroll that? I'll reroll.
Yeah, you spend an XP.
XP.
Yeah. 8.
An 8. It's hard to say exactly what it is. It's this space. As you try to reach out and try to understand it, you still have this like muffled sense, and it seems to be like this muffledness seems to be like creeping into your mental space even, and making you feel a little bit foggy.
Hey, should I like try again or?
They sort of look at it for a little while. Does anyone want to make like a physical investigation?
I'll do a physical investigation. Yeah. I'm good at recognizing puzzles and patterns.
Great.
If that gives me an asset.
Great, that is an asset.
Okay.
So did I give you a difficulty? It was a...
For this, no.
Okay. This is a difficulty. It would be a 12, but your asset brings it down to 9. And if you spent intellect, you could bring it down. I'll say actually, they are searching as well. And so if you actually search with them, you can get a second asset and bring it down to a 6.
I love teamwork.
Great. So you go into teamwork with Jerry, the pencil mustache guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a 6?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
7. Yeah, so you're sort of like looking around at this and feeling around, and Jerry says to you, I don't know exactly what it is, but oh, look, and he points to on one side of the wall, there's just these, it's this smooth, featureless wall with these little grooves in it, but then there's just 2 little discolored points where there are like 2 dots on the wall that are just slightly inset, and it was the light that with the luster you couldn't quite see them, but he sees them, and then you find on the opposite side there's 2 points as well, and he says, I don't know, like, you want to try to press them?
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
Follow your heart, Nell.
Yeah, I will. I'll press him.
Yeah, so you put your fingers
is
on them,
about
and he puts
discovery.
his fingers on the ones on his side, and you feel like, at first there's sort of like a buzzing, sort of like hum, like electrical buzzing that goes into your fingers. Not too deep, it doesn't like cover your body, but the lines, there's a moment where they flicker with like a blue energy just around, and that extra sense that you felt seems to be dissipated
Okay.
for the moment.
Yeah, just say it seems like something is clearing up. I think maybe it's safer to go through. I could feel like a fogginess about this place, and yeah, it seems to have lifted now.
Yeah.
What you did seemed to have worked.
Good effort, thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Love your mustache.
Love yours.
Thanks. Mine doesn't get bushy like that, so
Yeah, but this has a certain, je ne sais quoi that really works too.
yeah, thanks. He has a Belfastian accent,
Okay.
and so you have this moment of being like, a number of years ago, we may have been on opposite sides of a battlefield. You move further in.
While you're walking, can I take like my 10-minute recovery thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Oof, 2. But
2 plus 1, I think, right?
I'll
yeah.
do that too. 10 minutes recovery.
Yeah, because you find a place. past this, there's another one of these like halls that has a bunch of tables and wide space and some counters actually, again made all with this same material, and you kind of Torath sort of says we could use this as a landing place. All of our rations were in the plane. Don't have anything here, but if you have like a bag or anything, maybe this is a good place to leave it. We can come back here.
Are the crabs edible?
All crabs are edible.
Okay, well.
Wait, are they?
Yeah, you could probably eat them, but
Yeah, but probably difficult.
yeah. So you are then sort of moving into this. There's this space, like setting up like a little kind of. He says this could be our base camp or something. But there's a room up here that I want to check out, and he sort of points up, and there's.
Who is this?
This is Torath. At the end of this hallway, there's a much wider opening, and almost like an ornateness. There's some sort of carvings in the edge of the portal as it opens up into the room at the end of this hallway.
What are we doing as we're like sitting down? Is there some like tea situation happening?
Well, there's a little bit of. Do you want to make like an investigation check in the space?
Yes.
Moonchild, I've forgotten my sage. It would be favorable if we could bless this room before we sit down here to commune.
Bless with a burning thing?
Indeed.
Oh, I think I roll a poisonous joint.
What kind of poison do you have?
I have a poison which effect is determined by roll.
What's the form of it? It's an ingestible, like a powder.
I think if it's something that we can drink, this is something that we can smoke.
I wouldn't know that this was poison or anything, though, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm close to you and I'm gonna whisper it to you.
Okay. I think there's a dribble.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's probably called though.
So, what I'm trying to do is to offer this to thugs and pilots, and give a warning to Dale and Cornelius.
As a joint.
Risky.
I don't know, or as tea if you're making tea.
There is. Make an investigation check in this room for me.
All right. Okay.
Let's see.
So roll for organizing something.
Yeah.
It's a natural one.
Natural one.
I
You
will
can't-
use experience
Okay.
to
Rolling
reroll
bad.
this.
Yeah.
That's better. Investigation. I have a skill in inside danger lies.
Okay. So this is basically you find. What did you roll on the die?
14.
14. Okay, cool. So you find, like, there's a kitchen behind this room. So it's almost like a cafeteria. So there's like a space where there's cooking, and then there's
That's
counters
way
where people
easier.
would put stuff up. The equipment for cooking in here works. You touch it, you figure out that there's a way to activate it. A plate gets warm. The question is there water? Unclear, but there is a vessel that you could cook something in.
I will try to like engage people into it, because
Yeah.
then if we make it a group activity, they're
Yeah.
more likely to partake. And I'm like, oh, I found a kettle. We can have tea.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah,
What a blessing.
let's do it. Let's get comfortable because it's going to be a little while we're up here, I guess. And I don't.
This is the
No.
second best way to keep ourselves warm. We'll talk about it later. We just
I gauged the reaction of the thugs to that.
Insight check for me.
13.
13. It's a mixed collection of feelings about it. Una and Holna are like interesting. Jerry's a bit like seems like to blush a bit and get a bit uncomfortable, and Torath just seems impatient a little
I
bit.
thought Taurus went to a different room.
He is not gone there yet. He's sort of helping to arrange things. He's like, yeah, let's look around. One of the folks, one of the pilots, finds that there is a faucet of some sort that's able to produce water, and the water looks clean. So the place somehow starts to get a little bit alive. Like there's something cooking on this this cooking plate. There's water coming in, and yeah, a little bit of like people taking their coats off, basically, because it's not cold in this space. It's comfortable, even though you're up on this mountain peak. Once you got inside, somehow the atmosphere in here is pleasant. And so people are like taking coats off and like readjusting, and you can see they're all armed. You know, they've got like a short sword or machete and some sort of either a dart thrower or pistol. One of them has like a bandolier with sort of like different types of wire grapple equipment, hammer, little picks.
Good question. Did it look like my my van was damaged beyond being able to drive, or just
No, probably not. Just
Okay.
it got dragged around
Okay,
a little
okay.
bit.
But the plane was.
The plane was pretty severely damaged, and it might take a bit of effort to fix it.
Okay. And then would I know like this is like snow-peaked mountains right now, right?
Yeah.
Is that a year-round thing, or is it
Up
winter?
here? Yeah, it's year-round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking about like, what are we doing? We need to discuss a plan if we can, but I won't met again. Okay.
I mean, you can say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, friends. We need to start thinking about our plan to get out of here. From what little I know about these crabs, I feel like once they determine that there's no more sustenance for them here, they will continue their journey through life elsewhere. I'm not sure. How many seats is my van? I don't mean, like, yeah, no, it fits pigs. Yeah, we could all squeeze into my van to get out of here at some point.
Cozy.
So I feel like we should all just sit tight and try to think positive thoughts about the near future.
Do you know how long it'll take for the crabs to continue on their journey?
Only the crabs can answer that question.
All right.
Yeah, depends on how hungry they are and what other forms of sustenance they have available to them.
So I want to sneakily whisper to Cornelius and Dale, don't drink it.
Okay.
And poison the tea.
Make me like a sleight of hand check. I would say this is lies and deception. So,
I do have a skill in that.
yeah. So I would say your target is 15. It's Torath, who you're trying to overcome, and so it drops to 12.
Yeah. So using something for it. What do we call it? Edge?
Effort.
Effort. Yes.
Yeah.
So target is now
9.
Oof. I am. Thank God for that XP.
What did you roll?
That was a 5.
Oh. Well,
Yes, 12.
12. Okay, so you slip this powder into the water, and there's tea. However, I would like for Ruta. I want to know what's going through your head as you're in this place. There is, to some degree, it is ancient Bracarchian sort of monastery here, and you have some kind of like sacredness in it. And so I want to know, what are you thinking of as you're here? Do you have any?
It serves me as a reminder of whom I serve.
Yeah.
Yeah. It serves me as a reminder of I'm smiling to them, but once they were the enemy, and I should treat them forever as someone who can become my enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're here to do something, and I don't know what. and they have captured Victor,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's on the same side with them. That's like a gray part in this whole situation. And I am aware of my mission, of whom I serve, and aware that they are outnumbering us.
Yeah.
So I would like to weaken them, so we deal with Taurus.
Yeah, so very mission oriented at the moment.
Yes.
How are the rest of you doing inside? Like, what's the
Well, I've
internal
just learned of
monologue?
this poison. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful that you managed to communicate that to me, and I'm kind of freaking out. Like, do we need to murder these people?
That's
that
I'm
the
Oh,
effect?
that's not that kind. No, no,
yeah,
no.
but we don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know. I'm just saying, don't drink it.
Yeah,
I'm deeply stressed now because I'm not good at deception or lying or any of this. And everybody's struggling with this hippie thing. And now I have this added thing of, oh, there's poison in the tea, and I'm not sure if I even want to kill these people.
Oh, we do know that Cornelius is a healer, though. So there's always that, right?
Is a what?
Yeah, right, like has healing abilities.
Victor.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
didn't.
Victor.
I forgot to communicate that this is not a deadly poison.
Yeah.
I just don't drink it.
Okay, I'm like,
And I do not know that that's poison.
I think you're with Taurus.
Yeah, like he's keeping an eye on me.
are you sure, Moonchild, that this is the most suitable tea for the occasion?
Yeah,
You're certain?
yeah.
I don't want to create any conflict between our deep friendship, Moonchild. But is it okay? Well, and I won't. And I won't create any conflict.
I really, yeah.
I trust Moonchild's decision making in this moment.
Torath comes up and takes a couple of the tea, the mugs. They're all also this sort of white, lustrous stone.
I
Takes-
pretend to drink it.
He takes some and he pours he pours 2 of them. He says, Miski, come.
I try to signal him with my eyes, like.
Come, walk with me.
Okay, and I follow.
Yeah,
Dorothy.
here, and he hands you the
Grab the cup.
the
like
tea.
Dory says,
Moonchild, are there any particular allergens in this tea that someone might have to be cognizant of before partaking?
Can I try to catch Victor's eyes?
You can absolutely like make a communication there.
I would try to do that.
Sure. Roll me one more deception check.
I will burn through my XP.
What is that?
2.
This is my last XP.
What's the problem with
now
poison?
left. That's an 8.
I'm not going to let you re-roll it.
Gotcha.
He sees Torath sees a meaningful glance pass anyway, and he walks out of the room, expecting, sort of like waits at the door for you to come with him. And one of the goons comes as well. Like Una comes to the door and sort of is behind you guys a little ways, just kind of like waiting there. And he walks toward this more fancy portal at the end of the hallway.
I would like to follow them.
Yeah, and I'm also very actively like, I mean, they're pilgrims. Like, we really should like share the knowledge here. This is a research expedition, and all of you should like see what's going on.
As you're holding that cup in your hand, I would like to. I don't have a cup in your hand, and I would like, in like people who don't know boundaries, in a familiar way of like take it from your hand and pretend to sip it. I just want to take that cup
Yeah.
from his hands.
Yeah. But before you do, there are several paces ahead of you. So you're like hurrying up to get to them. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
will be like, oh, wait for me.
Torath starts to say, he's like, okay, no, we have a private moment I wanted to ask you. And then all of a sudden you're there and you take, you're coming with us. Okay. Fantastic. And he walks with you into this room. You step into this chamber. It's just the 3 of you. And immediately you are overcome with a sensation of almost like a shift in tone of the space you're in. This place, it's like one chamber, one round chamber, and then as it comes to the close of the circle, it opens up into another larger round chamber. The first one is tall ceiling, wide. There's sort of like a bench that goes around the edge almost all of the way, just a simple plain bench. The opening, there's an opening at the top of it, like a skylight that brings in this crisp, clean, bright light from the outside. And he steps forward, he walks through, and there's a calmness that washes over you. As you step through, there's almost like a humming in the next room. It's a wider room, and it has sort of like tiered steps going down. And at each step, on the steps, there's little like lecterns, all made from this stone, almost like writing tables. This is the center of the meditation area of the monastery. And as you know that the Bracarchists were trying to clear their mind. And so the opening, again, up here, it's open, and the temperature of the room changes. You feel a breath of the outside air, almost like it's somehow open, or the temperature is not too cold. So maybe there's something going on to mediate the atmosphere, but you step into this broad, open sort of meditation space, and immediately, for you see familiar carvings on the walls, enormous murals of carvings, faintly colored in light pastels, like translucent pastels, artistic scenes of the central congregation of the Bracarch monks, seated at similar lecterns. These philosopher monks sit with empty books, and in the middle, where all of these step down, there's an empty space and then a little raised like platform. And in the middle, in the carving on the wall, you can see a member of the group giving a lecture. Seems to be lecturing, but the feature of this person is that they're carved, depicted without the top of their head, and it's an empty bowl on the inside, as if their brain has been completely removed. You step into the place.
Do I see this as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, can I do some sort of like history, like to understand what's?
Yeah, you can make me a roll for you. Let's say it's a DC 9.
11.
11. Yeah, you understand what this is. I mean, it's something you were brought up with because the Bracarchy was sort of the, in a way, one of the ancient nemesis of the Mylandian approach. The Bracarchs were trying to empty and leave the world in a way, and Myland said, no, we have to be here. And even the two approaches have roots in the same place of like, how do we manage this broken world? How do we survive here?
Yeah, no, I think like something about the calmness of the space really gets under my skin. Like, I think I'm not till this point, I've been trying to like figure out ways to like escape Toroth, but like being here in this chamber, I think I am like sort of taken over by the prevailing feeling here. I want to go closer to the source of it.
I would like you both to make me intellect defense checks.
Okay.
I have
19.
I have a skill in defense against mental effects.
Perfect. So, right.
But that won't help me.
Difficulty is
A natural one.
difficulty is 12.
Yeah,
You said 19.
Over 5 today.
So for Ruta, this space, the meditative quality of it, this humming kind of enters your mind. You almost start to hear the chant that was sung in this room or repeated in this room, or a version of it, or it calls up the one from your youth, from what's remembered from the Bracarchists' traditions that Lemuria carries on, and it kind of comes into your mind. And you are hindered with speed checks for the next period of time. The slowness comes into you, a thoughtfulness, a meditativeness, like an introspection in a way.
Do I see this happening to her? Okay, is it perceptible?
I think you see like what
I am
would it be?
acting like a person who came here to worship this thing. So
Yeah.
first I'm acting like, oh my God, look at this, those who ascended. And like I'm faking it, and then suddenly I stop faking it. I'm like, actually, they have ascended. Nothing. They felt the great nothing.
Yeah. So that's what you see. You see her get into this.
So I think I perceive what's happening with my role. I perceive what's happening, but I'm not similarly affected.
Right.
Right. Okay.
You feel the pull of it, but it's not in your tradition in the same way.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you doing anything in the room? This room also, at the end of the room, it has another opening at the back of the room.
Yeah.
My task is still to get the cup out of Victor's hand.
Yeah, I think you did that. You have the cup.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was easy. You have the cup, but now you're in here. Torath comes up to you and he says, beautiful, isn't it? In his way. You know something of this?
I hear their chants. Do you hear them? Put the cup, hold his, hear them. Do you hear them?
He takes a moment to he says, I hear something, but I don't hear, do you hear specific chants? Can you?
I think I can make out if I focus. Do I? I say it anyway, I'm lying.
It's hard to tell if it's your memory bringing these up or if it is actually what's coming in here. How much of it is created by your mind and how much of it is what they say. But with your check that you made, you're unable to close your mind to it. And so there are like words. There is one chant that comes into your lips, and it's empty thy mind and forget the earth.
No. And forget the earth.
And forget the earth.
I will stretch time with Taurus. I'm waiting for the poison to work.
Uh-huh.
And I'm waiting for either scream or laughter or moans from the other room.
Yeah, he's talking to you. He takes a sip. Can I see this here?
I don't know if you roll once for everyone or for specific.
Yeah, they're different levels, and so they're gonna run into it in a different way.
That's fun.
Not for them.
Some
Do you want to roll me? Do you want to roll me a d100 3 times?
Is there a chance they might just get stoned?
Just want to do that.
Okay.
Kind of. Okay, be good. What am I looking at? 60 exactly?
Uh-huh.
That's
A 90,
97,
97,
and that's 57.
57.
You asked 3 times.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think 97 is fun. Am I messing with your plans?
He turns to you, and he's after a moment he says, "Well, look, I'm really glad that I could share this moment with you. I mean, I think I don't know if this is like a setup or whatever on Miski's part, but I think it's a nice space to share with someone.
Okay. That is very lucky. Okay.
I'm gonna cut back to the other room because what's happening right now, so you've been in here for a couple of minutes, and these other folks have had sips of their tea, and they're just sort of like, at first not making conversation, and then one of them, Una, kind of sits down at the table with you and is like, so how did you hear about this place?
There was a spirit guide in the form of a butterfly that led us up here.
Okay,
Yes.
make me a deception.
Yes.
This is a difficulty 9.
I'm pretty sure I have an anti-asset.
Yeah,
Like, I have a weakness.
Oh, so it's
for
a
this.
12. Yeah.
Go!
One, it almost was a 19.
Then my dice knocked it to the
Really, a spiritual butterfly? I mean, I've heard weird things in the ninth world, but I've never heard... Okay, no. One person when I was in university talked about spiritual butterflies, but they were tripping at the time.
Well, we have fun in Stamen's bus.
I would put it to you that perhaps when you are not altering your consciousness, that is when you are truly tripping. And only when you do take steps to change your perspective do you really see things clearly. I also have disadvantage on this stuff.
Okay, roll me with disadvantage.
What's a 12?
A 12, exactly. So that was kind of what you needed. They take a moment and they are like, I gotta ask, hopefully this isn't too forward. Was she serious about the comfort stuff? Is that what you guys are into?
What did she say?
She,
All about the different ways of keeping warm.
yeah, because I'm feeling like a bit chilly right now. And I would
This is not the direction.
love to get warm.
I will say, Moonchild is a much better conduit of warmth than myself or Nell. That's more her department.
The pilots turn, they're like, is that so?
I'm like, I'm currently denying myself certain worldly pleasures, but I may get more in tune with myself.
Jerry says, now that doesn't seem fair. Naming yourself Stamen after sexual parts and then not pursuing sex? I mean, come on. Like,
I did not choose the name Stamen.
we're
It came to me in a vision.
sorry if I'm being really forward here. Maybe you should follow the vision. You know, look.
I appreciate forwardness. It would be a shame if you did not follow your feelings, but you must also respect mine.
Well, I mean that's cool and all, but really, like, we're here with time to kill right now. Nothing better to do than turns to sorry if I'm gonna be so forward. Each other.
Well, I'm in a monogamous relationship with someone, so I'm gonna have to do a hard pass. But you know, there's plenty of other rooms here that you guys can go to.
Are there 2 or 3 of them in front of us right now?
All 5 of them are in front of you
Oh, okay.
right now.
5.
If you would like some privacy to explore such things with yourselves, we can, of course, provide
We can get out of here.
There were some like bunk bed rooms down the hall.
Where are all their
actually.
weapons right now?
They're on them.
Maybe they were removing them.
I was gonna try and fuck these guys and take all their weapons. This is my internal monologue.
I love that I left you to that situation.
This is not Dale's wheelhouse at all. This is not Dale's wheelhouse at all. And I haven't had any tea, right?
No.
Yeah. Those bunk beds looked incredibly comfortable.
Like there is more to you
I mean,
left.
there was no betting on them. But really, honestly, like sometimes you just gotta rough it and like whatever, like any sort of experience. I mean, how many Numenera sites have you had a chance to get down and dirty in?
This one would be the first in a while where I did not. This is something.
Wow, so you're really holding yourself back.
It is a great effort, but the clarity that it has brought me this last while has been quite remarkable.
You should, like, I mean, no offense, but if you're doing some sort of like holding yourself back or something, but it seems mean at this moment, you know? Like,
To you or to me?
well, I don't want to be selfish, but to me, honestly,
There's a. Oh god, I've forgotten your name. Stamen is on a journey, and we are all on journeys, and you should respect Stamen's journey. And if you feel that your journey is leading you to the bunk beds with each other, then you should do that.
well, boss is away for a little while, so why don't we? And they like pile out of the room.
Nice.
And we're gonna go to a very quick break for the moment. Hang on one moment. I'm just gonna, we're gonna go to a break for like 5 to 10 minutes and we'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. We're back.
We tried to make it.
Who's got a cigarette?
Yeah. Should have thought of that before we got back. So we come back to
We're getting banned from Twitch.
our heroes.
We can always move to OnlyFans.
Catch our steamy stream on OnlyFans.
Steamy.
So we come back to our heroes. Cornelius and Dale sitting in a suddenly vacant cafeteria as the 5 sort of henchmen from Toroth pile out, horny as hell, seeking the closest little bunk room chamber that they can find. You hear them go down the hall, not very far, and go into a room. Door closes, and then you hear just sounds coming from it. In the meditation room,
Oh God.
Toroth is standing there. I seems to just have completely forgotten about Victor for the moment, just like all focus on you. It's amazing to be able to share this with someone who has an understanding of this, and I think that also it's beautiful because we come from different places. Can I show you something?
I know how the poison works. Yeah. So I'm like tracking what emotions I'm having there, and I think I know what's happening. And I'm gonna play along.
Yeah.
I'm gonna maintain eye contact and. Absolutely. Yes. Show me.
Okay. I think from what I saw when we were coming in, we are probably close to this. And he offers his hand.
I take his hand.
He gives it a squeeze, like warm, happy. There's like a moment of like a sigh in his body as he takes his hand.
Ooh, it's almost heartbreaking to like. Okay, I want to like look at you.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'm looking to go further into this space, but then maybe I call to you or something and realize that y'all are not near me, so I look back.
Yeah. And you see, like,
Yeah, and then
this moment, Torath has her hand, and he looks up. Oh, Miski, you're coming too. That, yeah, sure. And
Taurus, I squeeze his hand. We shouldn't have secrets from each other.
okay. At this point, I'm like looking at you, going, "What the fuck did you do?"
I mean, no, I feel like there's definitely secrets in the air between us, but
There shouldn't be.
there shouldn't be. Not.
Do you feel what I feel?
I do. I think I do. I mean, it's so sudden. I don't want to
That's how it happens.
say it, but
That's because we're here.
I mean, you would know, like, more about it being Lemurian and all, right?
I'm so glad that we can leave it behind in this place where it's
Yeah.
you and me
The past
and
is.
Victor.
There's a moment of like
I'm like awkwardly turned, really, what is going on?
like
No?
a little like reality, like yeah. Here, let's come see this. And
Yeah.
he turns and he kind of tugs you gently to come up the steps into the next space where you're already heading. Short hallway into a room. This is the only room that you've been in that has kind of square corners, at least in the front. When you step up to it, the wall has a big window and big flat plates on the wall, similar material but with carvings in them. And the carvings are runes, basically, words, instructions, and the window looks out onto an enormous bowl, 4 stories deep.
A bowl.
Like a dish.
Is it up there or like
You're
down
at
here?
the top of it. So you're on a little thing. It's smooth, mostly smooth all the way around, and you're sort of on an observation platform in a way, looking
I'm gonna
over it.
giggle and slide down.
No. It's not open in the bowl.
Ah.
It's like 20 meters deep almost. Maybe that's 5 stories, but it's a big bowl. In the center of it, there's a statue of a masculine figure reaching up and holding a spike, some sort of lance. It has like a point that comes down and it goes up, cresting out of the bowl. You saw this coming in. It's sort of like a satellite dish with the this like point coming out of it.
That's funny. It's like a matryoshka. It's like this.
Yeah. So it's a bull holding this statue, pointing this this arm up with this lance pointing to the sky. It seems like the lance handle has more space on it. It's for 2 hands, and there is a second hand on there, but it looks like it's a hand from a different statue, and you can see the wreckage of that statue collapsed against the other side of the bowl. And there's a creeping kind of, the whole bowl is this white material, except on the other side of it, from the bottom, there's almost this like creeping mold texture coming up the sides of it, sort of like blossoming and crystally, sort of like expansion, organic expansion of something that's come up around the other sides of it. Also, there's channels that run up, sort of like a circuitry design running up the whole inside of the bowl. And there's this wall around the window, these plates that have all of these runes and little pockets for like a thumb or a finger or a sliding space or something like this. It seems to be like a control panel of some sort.
How about the feeling in the room? Is it still that same meditative?
You feel it like it comes, it's behind you, but this room is much more designed for work and focus.
Okay.
And so that sort of like leaves
Like, yes.
a little bit.
Can I do a scan of the control panel to see what's
Yeah.
going on? Yeah.
You can.
18.
18. You reach out with your senses and you engage with this control panel, and there is an energy in it. It's a bit staticky. So the material, it's the same stone, but these panels are definitely connected. There's behind them. They're not thick. Your mental searching can find attachments to different wires or conduits that go deeper into the facility, deep down into the bowl, so it lets your mental energy flow through a little bit. And Gesundheit. As you come to it, also the you step up, scanning, and a little mote of light picks up on one of the panels near you, just boom, and like some of the rooms light up for you. Yeah, something like shimmers, something is like a little light, sort of like whoop, whoop, flashing for attention on one of the panels.
Yeah, I think I approach it and try to interact with it. Like, do I get a sense of like how to interact with it as I scan?
Yeah, there's like it's like a reverse button, so it's not
Okay.
it's not sitting out,
Yeah.
but it's like an inset into this plate, and there's a glow coming from the inside of it, and you could put a finger there or something.
Yeah. I
Um,
think I want to put my finger.
and you put your finger in, and this like projection materializes in front of you, and it is the facility, the complex. It shows you this bowl. It shows you not the collapsed statue, but sort of like a broken image. It's like there are parts of this image that can't be formed from this little piece of arcane mapping that it does, and it there's the entire underside of the bowl seems to be flickering, and the edges of it are staticky and in fluctuation, kind of destroyed, and the there's like a little like set of runes within the projection that's sort of flashing some words, but it's in a language that you don't read.
Okay.
It's sort of like flashing boop, 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 and like little places sort of highlight and then go away. And you can see also little motes within it that you realize represent people. There's 3 little dots up in this space right by the bowl, and then back a little ways there's 2 dots, and then a little bit further back in the complex there's another space where there's just a bright cluster of like, it's actually, you can't count the dots, they're all kind of like overlapping each other.
I don't know where you left.
Torth sees this apparating. He goes, "Oh, I knew I brought you for something." Miski is really good. We're childhood friends. We go way back. Miski is really, really good with this type of stuff. Old Numenera, whatever. Really a genius, actually. Long lost friend. And I think, though, I feel like you have gotten to know each other
Yeah,
a bit.
yeah. I mostly know him as a genius poet, not as a genius Numenera expert from Belfasia, Mainland.
Okay, so at this point I'm like, well, my thinking here is that like trusting my old friends hasn't worked, so I think it's time to trust some new friends. So I'm like, listen, I can explain everything. Yes, my name is Miski. I do come from Mainland. I was just trying to like start a new life, okay? And I'll explain everything once we're out. But this guy is trying to kidnap me right now, and he's trying to take me back to my land. I do not
And
want
bring
to
you
go.
to my land.
Yes.
I have a question for you, Miski.
Yeah.
You're really good at writing your pacifistic poems.
Yeah.
Don't you think that writing your
Thank you.
pacifistic poems here makes us weaker, and writing your pacifistic poems in my land will prevent the future war?
Why does everyone think that I have some agenda?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just writing fucking poetry.
I'm sorry. Are my best friend and my love turning against
You're
me?
loud.
I go into his arms, look in his eyes. I would never.
Make me
I also
Make
try to
me-
disarm him while this is happening.
to disarm him.
Yeah.
You want to attack him.
No, well, just
Or-
like grab his gun. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going into his arms. You're trying to be deceptive?
Yeah.
Okay. Make me a deception check with your lies. So this brings it. He is I'm gonna give you 2 assets from him because he's in love with you. He's a 15 normally. It would be a 9 plus your skill that lies.
18.
Hey.
18. He just takes you in an embrace and is like, I felt suddenly I felt really scared for a moment. This is such an accomplishment for me, and I was so happy to share it with you, and to think that you were gonna betray me.
I would never. And I try to disarm him.
That's right. Like that, Dorat.
So both
I
of
would
you.
try to like. Does
Yeah.
he hold the gun or does he have it on
It's
his
in a
belt?
holster. He has this pistol in a holster, and he also has a long knife, almost like a short sword, on him as well.
I go for the knife, you go for the pistol.
I'm gonna say the 2 of you working together. It's gonna be a 12 for each of you. For you, it'll be it's gonna be a 9,
I
and
have.
it'll be a 12 for you.
I'll try to make it easier with
Effort?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a might effort.
Right. Okay, that's perfect.
I am hindered with speed.
Okay. This is actually it's sneaky. It's speed for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then 18 in any case, I think I'm good.
I'm gonna spend effort to reduce the hindered C.
Yeah.
Can I use my elastic speed?
It's up to you.
Yeah. That's XP to 0. 14.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to, if possible, for a 14, remove the, like, if I imagine a gun and it has like bullets in it, remove that.
It does not have like a cartridge in that way. This is an old type of gun, so it has. Oh, sorry. This is the doorbell. Probably it comes into the stream. You can try to like open it though, so that the bullets fall out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
With a 14, this is a bit more of a complicated task. So,
I'll kiss him for a distraction.
okay. You lean in and kiss him and grab the gun and release the bullets. What are you doing? You're
You're just taking his sword out of
His
the
sword,
sheath.
yeah.
And
He leans into the kiss, and then he feels you take the sword, and he turns like from the embrace, and he says, "Miski, this isn't the time." Come on. Like,
you're always too obsessed with the ladies.
I want to help you with this. Like,
Yeah, like kidnapping me is a great way to help me. Like trying to force me to do something that I don't want to do. But okay, well we're here now. The table. You're not forcing me to do anything anymore. What is it you wanted me to find here? I'm not going to go back with mainland with you, but you might as well tell me.
he turns. He's like, "Can you? You're his friend. Can you tell him like, his family misses him. We need him home. He's brilliant. We have projects that we're working on. Just." Why don't you
go
come with
to
me?
Mainland?
I hated it there. Like, all my family cares about is pushing me into military service. I don't want to go into military service. Yeah, like, my brilliance is mine to do with as I choose. Like, I want to write poetry right now. I don't want to be, like, researching Numenera and, like, releasing the kind of cataclysmic events that happened the last time I tried to do this.
Ruth is persuaded. That's fair.
Yeah, so
You don't have to be there if you don't want to. And
Yeah.
You don't have to serve the military purposes. You don't have to.
See, this is what a friend looks like, Doroth.
No, Miski, a friend would look out for your greater success.
Greater success is defined by whom?
It's defined by society and the people who love you.
There's just no talking sense to you. But like, so okay, what was my greatest success here supposed to be? Like pressing some buttons?
Well, it's helpful, that's for sure. There, look, in that respiratorium, we learned that there's some sort of heart of the world. And this is what we've been searching for. If we can find a way to access that, if we can understand what they were doing here, because whatever it was, the Brakarki almost succeeded or failed spectacularly. Their leadership disappeared. What if they'd taken everybody with them? It would have been the end of the age. If they had succeeded fully in their plan, there might be nobody left. They might have destroyed everything. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they failed. I think that they had a plan and they were enacting it and that it failed. That the direction they wanted to go to escape the world was they almost succeeded, but they didn't take everybody with them.
So
They
what do you
didn't
want
take the
to
Brakarki.
do? Like find out why they failed and perfect it?
I want to know what they learned. What was it that got them so close to their success? Because you know the stories of my land and the crater and the Brakarki, right? It's that old story about the orphan child in the last cataclysm and the king, the Goralexian king before the Brakarki, as they were mourning their parents, right, took the child in and gave them a home. And they created this Brakarkian philosophy, and this orphan child grew up and delivered the people from the Armageddon that they faced through a new order, a new society. That's the story that they tell you in Lemuria, right?
Yes. Wait. What?
That there's
There was a child
Yeah.
who brought Brakarki to the point where they figure out this technology that I know is about like leaving the physical realm and going in the space, yeah?
Yeah.
And in Lemuria, he was taught as like a good fella.
He was taught as sort of basically the kingdom was crumbling. Some cataclysm happened, and the old king saved this orphan child whose parents had been lost in the cataclysm, and went to kind of provide a home for this child who studied and became this first founding monk of this order of thinking, which formed the new government and gave people a way to move forward. And
The orphan child, yes.
yeah. But what they don't tell you is that the people who said that it was a dangerous way, the people who said turning away from the earth and ignoring what the earth has to give us, they were pushed out. And they went to my land. And so really, our people are the same people, just from different roots.
Hold on, can I try and make a deal with you? like I don't want to go back to my land, okay? But I am interested in what's going on here. I'm interested in what they found out about the heart of the world. I will help you with this if you will not reveal that I am in self-defense to my parents. And that will be the last I hear from my land.
I'm gonna offer you a type of intrusion.
Okay.
If you want to take it.
Yeah.
It would be 2 XP.
Yeah, I think
And you can distribute 1 XP to someone.
Rota.
Okay.
I think you need it.
I burned them as. Yeah. Thank you.
He says, he looks at you for a moment there's like a little bit of regret or confusion in the eyes, and he says, I mean, I sent a telegram before we left,
All right.
so they're gonna come for you if you don't end up at home anyway. We're gonna cut over to you. What's going on? Are you
So-
just sitting? It's been a couple of minutes
Yeah, we're sitting there, and I'm
in this cafeteria, like,
I'm like, you didn't drink any of the tea, no?
no,
Me neither. Okay.
But I'm wondering,
Yeah.
they're weapons.
Oh yeah.
Do you think we could?
Oh yeah. We just gotta
We gotta
figure out
try.
the best moment to bust in there.
Yeah,
And that can be the operative word.
yeah.
So, were there doors to this dormitory thing? And did they have
Yeah.
like windows in them? Like,
no.
People.
okay. Okay, so we got. What weapon have you got on you?
We have all of our weapons, right? So I got a sword, rifle, dagger.
So we could just bust in there, and hold them up, or we could try and be sneaky about it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. They seem really involved by the sound of it.
Yeah.
With their endeavors.
Yeah.
So, what if we try sneaking? They might not even notice us.
Yeah, true. On the one hand, as well, I feel a little sorry for. I kind of, maybe we could wait till they finish.
I think that's too late.
Yeah, probably. But that kind of. Yeah, we don't want to allow them that post-nut clarity. They might figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I think the sooner the better, actually.
Okay,
When they're in the throes,
so we're gonna try sneaking.
yeah,
And
we're
if
gonna
we're
try
spotted,
sneaking.
we just hold them up.
Or we. Yeah, that's a better plan than I had.
What was your plan?
Well, we could pretend to have been interested.
Do that plan. Do that plan.
You're right. My plan is better.
Can I?
My acting skills are not.
Neither
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
So you go down.
Sneak in. Okay. I'm gonna sneak up to
Yeah.
the door and maybe try and. Is it open? Is it closed? What's going on?
Door is closed
Okay.
for this dormitory room.
Who's sneakier amongst us?
I think it's gonna be you.
I'm speed 10.
I have speed 12 currently. So I could actually, maybe me.
Okay, so I think you want to try?
Yeah, I'll try.
It's a featureless door, right? And there's like a little on the side of the door. There's like a little pad.
Okay, I'm gonna be standing like with my back to the wall beside the door, ready to do that if I have to.
Yeah.
I use the pad to try and open the door.
Okay. It opens. It's like this stone sort of slides really fluidly into the wall.
Careful now.
It's a small room,
Oh god.
and there are 5 people there.
How does it smell?
Please.
Sweaty. They smell like a warm, sweaty, like
Musk.
musk comes out. They're
This is a temple. God.
wrapped in each
Temples
other.
are different.
Blame her.
Skin, lots of skin.
Yeah.
The door opens. It's small. It's not sneaky. And Una sort of like looks over from embracing the shoulders of someone else and says, "Oh, you've come to join. You thought about it." And then like sort
I've
of
just made our decision for us.
like goes back in to the action that they were doing.
They're not. So they're not looking at us.
They're kind of like, oh yeah, come join.
I presume their clothes and weapons are strewn on the
Just
floor.
strewn, scattered.
Okay. Cornelius goes in,
Yeah.
takes off his shirt, but like as he's doing it, motions for the nearest weapon.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the cue
Yeah.
and take off my trench coat and like drop it over as many weapons as I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stroke my mustache a little bit. Well, all right.
Wait, how many mustaches is in this room?
4. There's 4 mustaches in this room. And some very nice pubic hair also.
Okay.
Good, come back.
Yeah. And Jerry is kind of like all of a sudden like can't take it. He's like, oh, I'm so glad that you decided to join.
Me too.
Let me just. I can't get into things when there's a mess. Let me just.
Yeah. No, it's so tight in here.
Sure,
And with
sure.
7 in here now, like get it, like we'll pick it up out, like just get it in the hall.
Just
and
the
then
clutter will be.
Yeah, we'll get it out in the
Yeah,
hall.
the
You're
Clutter
right.
will
Make me-
put me off my stroke.
Make me a deception check. Make me a
Okay, I'd like to just say I have positive social interaction.
Yes.
That's
what
the
it-
social interaction.
Okay. You have an asset because
Me
they're
as well?
in this.
I have an asset on melee performance, but I'm not sure if that's.
No, you have an asset because they're fully.
Oh no, wait.
They're poisoned, so you have an asset.
I have an asset on some kind of performance, but I don't know what it's called. If I do.
That's if you
cool
do a
move-
might check.
Oh, it's a might check. Never mind.
If you flex, right? If you do a feat of strength, you get an
What
asset
is happening?
Never mind.
social
I'm
skills.
not gonna try and use that.
Wait.
Is your dad watching?
Trying to lift the
Hang
on.
Oh boy.
Like, can I swing it my way? Like, if I.
Swing what?
It's called impressive display, and you perform a feat of strength, speed, or combat, impressing those nearby. For the next minute, you gain an asset in all interaction tests with the people who saw you. So
Is there any way I can use my right tool for the job skill?
you're. If you spend yes, if you want to, right tool for the job. If you spend 1 intellect point, I'll let you pull out a tool that they get really excited about.
Let's see how Cornelius goes first. I maybe don't want to pull out my tool just yet.
Okay.
I want to. Because I'm still in the mode of helping Dale
Yes.
try and clear the room.
Yes, but
So-
you can give a help action in this, and
I start massaging Cornelius' shoulder.
I want to sexily.
yeah.
Whatever you say next.
Grab the remaining weapons
Yeah.
and then like hoist them up in like a. It's a lot of weapons in one go, right?
Yeah.
In a real cool display of strength, and as I flex.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So it would be a difficulty 9.
9. Okay.
You have an asset in social skills. You have an asset because they're poisoned.
Yeah.
You do an impressive
up.
display of strength. Can you just make me a roll for strength? For me?
5.
A 5. You know what? Spend 2 might for me.
Okay. And reroll.
No, just
Oh.
spend 2 might
Okay.
for
spend
it.
2
That's what it costs.
I get. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that gives you your 3rd asset. You go from a 9, 6, 3. It's a 0. It's a routine task. You're just like, let me get all of this stuff out of your
I look
orgy.
at Cornelius like, damn, he's done this before.
Yeah. You're like,
Like to listen.
this place is cluttered. Let me clear it up so that we have more room for our orgy. And you gather all this stuff together. You hoist it up. You know, one of it is under the bed. You like one-handed lift this bunk bed. You pull it out. They're like looking at your muscles bulging. They're like, wow. Yeah, we need all the space we can. You hoist it up over your shoulder. You walk out of the room with Dale.
Yeah, Dale is suddenly feeling very self-conscious about his physical demeanor.
You press the button on the wall, and the door closes behind you. and you hear, like, just, oh, don't take too long.
We won't.
I put my jacket back on. That was very smooth.
Well, we gotta do what we gotta do. We got a bunch of weapons now.
I'm gonna have to join you at the boxing gym sometime. I feel
Yeah.
like I need to,
Of course.
I gotta start working out. I'm letting
Training's
myself
Tuesday
go.
and Thursdays.
Okay, all right. Let's deal with this mess.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's start inspecting their weapons.
Yeah, there's a couple of there's dart thrower, there's these machetes, there's a couple of devices that you might have to take a couple of minutes to figure out what they do. But I'm gonna offer you an intrusion. Dale.
Mm-hmm.
You taking it?
Yeah, let's go.
2 XP.
Mm-hmm.
You hear this like sound,
Okay.
sort of animalistic.
From inside the room?
No.
He's going back in.
Down the hall, like there's like a little intersection that you pass. It's a network of halls, and you hear this, and then you hear like clacking, like clack 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 sounds.
Like a crab?
Doesn't hard to tell. It doesn't sound like a lot of like legs.
Okay. You hear that? Sounds like a critter.
Oh. I don't feel like we need to be adding more things into the mix at the moment.
Okay,
But good thing we have all these weapons.
Yeah. Let's quickly distribute the weapons among us in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, you hear the clicking of like little, like when a dog walks on a tiled floor,
yeah.
like click, 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 click. That sound.
I mean, we gotta check this out.
Okay, I'll follow you.
I approach cautiously.
Yeah. You get to the corner, and you look down the hall, and it's white, this white, lustrous, almost like marble-like material, and sort of standing in the middle of the hall, several meters down from it, like not close to you, but it sees you out of the corner of its eye. It's like sort of lizard-like, standing on two legs, almost raptor-like. Short, comes up to maybe your belly button height, pointy snout, sort of like scaly, but like sharp crystalline scales, black shades of black and dark iridescence catching the light and sort of eating it a little bit, and it kind of like catches your eye, and it gives out this like click, click, like clicking noise from its throat. You see the throat kind of like pulse in like a metallic way, this sort of like bunching of the scales.
Do I know what this is?
Make me some sort of roll to identify it.
I mean, I have identifying animals as a skill. That's an 11.
An 11. I will give you this. You look at it. You don't know what this is specifically. You don't know the material of it, but this would be some sort of like, almost like tropical raptor-like animal if it was in its normal scaled form. But this is like a weird metallic crystalline expression of it, and you don't know where it came from and why it's here, because it's this dark creature reflecting in this white space. It's totally out of place.
Is it like inorganic? Is it like a...
It seems almost
machine?
inorganic. It seems like it moves with an organicness, but it seems made out of a material that you would think of being inorganic. The other thing comes to your mind is that this type of like raptor, this size of animal, usually travels in packs.
Oh, okay.
And you're unsure. It looks at you, and then it turns and bolts down the hall.
Okay. I communicate what I know to Cornelius. That is...
We have a history of pack animals or groups of animals finding us.
Yeah, these things are smart hunters. I mean, how does something like that survive in here for so long? I mean, this place has been closed off, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the peak of a mountain. It seems abandoned.
But do we know, are we the first people to come here since in the last 1,000 years? We can't tell that, can we?
You don't know.
Yeah.
It reaches the end of the hall. It disappears around the corner, and you hear more chittering down there.
Do we go? Do we leave?
I think we get far away from that.
Okay.
This is a pack animal. It's probably going to be hunting us. I don't want to leave those guys to their fate, but... So, God, I guess we'll try and catch up with this bunch. I guess. What do you?
Yeah.
I guess.
Is there any doors we can close between us and them, or anything we could?
Yeah.
Us and the raptors.
It seems to be a clear hallway
Okay.
down to the end of this space. You aren't familiar with the mechanisms in this facility. You run down the hall, you get into these rooms. I would like both of you to roll intellect.
Run towards them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like both of you to roll intellect checks.
No one has
15.
defense against mental effects.
No.
12.
12. Both of you succeed, actually, because I think the difficulty was 12 originally. Is that right? Was it 12 or 15?
I don't
Okay.
remember anything after that.
12 or 15. I can't remember. We've had... I think it's a 12, but basically, and you pass through the space too. You're not sticking around, but you do hear this like humming tune. You get into this this control room to see this moment of Torath being disarmed, but holding Ruta in an embrace. And there's this tense moment where you run in wearing all of these weapons, and you have Torath disarmed. You've taken the short sword and you've spilled the bullets out of the gun onto the ground, and that's where we're gonna cut.
By the way, Cornelius is still shirtless at this point.
Cornelius' shirt runs shirtless into the room.
Ooh.
Ruta, I think there's a moment of like, did Cornelius drink it?
It's gonna be awkward.
And so that's where we're going to end. This chittering noise, crabs swarming the outside, a very intimate moment between all of the henchmen, the hired hands, and Torath here in the room alone with all of you, with this diagram of this sort of the diagram of this map of the temple. And one thing that maybe you see as we cut, as all of your attention is on Torath, is where these creatures ran down the hall, a continuation of the disruption of that map moving through the space, as if the map can't pick them up.
Ah, that's what the dots meant.
Oh, I thought the dots was the dudes.
The dots were you also, but these
the
things,
cluster.
The
That's
no.
why there was a
No,
ah.
the cluster is
was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
orgy.
the cluster is the orgy.
Okay, the cluster was the
Now I
orgy.
got it.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
But this is sort of like the camera cuts to this, and none of you see exactly because all of your attention, but you see that this disruption and this inability for the facility to read itself is now moving along the path that this pack of animals seems to be on. And that's where we're going to end.
Amazing.
We, so thank you so much for joining us on this stream. This is our last Numenera stream before the end of the year, and we'll return with Numenera in February. Ooh, it's a bit of ways to wait. There's a bit of a cliffhanger here, but we're still in the middle of chapter 2, and we're gonna have to see what happens next. February. Yeah. In the meantime, on December 17th, we'll have some sort of one-shot.
Maybe our viewers could vote on what system or type of game or something that we want
Yeah.
to play. Yeah, hit us
Yeah.
up on the socials.
Please, we would love to know what you want to see. If you have an idea of like fantasy, sci-fi, anything to that nature, and we can maybe post a poll at some point and ask folks. The second thing is in January we'll have some sort of short series for you, and we're going to figure that out exactly what that is, and maybe that's also with your input as well. And then the third thing is, again, just to remind you, December 15th at 800A, we have a live show. And yeah, come. Is there anything else that we should say?
Thanks to those who help us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Vincent Run and Andrew Karger for lights and camera. Special thanks to Christopher Schneider for emergency lens delivery. This episode is dedicated to you. And we also want to thank Bear Radio for continued audio support. They're an awesome Berlin-based podcast network. Check them out at bearradio.org. And Comedy Cafe Berlin in the heart of Neukölln. We borrow cameras and sometimes lenses from them. All of us perform there regularly, and so if you're in Berlin, come catch a show. comedycafeberlin.com. And that's it from us. So we would like to say goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dad, for watching.
Thanks,
Sorry,
everyone.
Tatiana's dad.
Sorry.
Bye.